Alright guys, let me tell you why I stopped stacking gold and silver.
One stacker on a journey to find silver. International stacker.
Alright guys, I want to make sure we have a protection in place for this video. And before we get into it, I have one question for all of you. We all knew the market had to correct at some point, right? How will these markets respond from this point forward? One thing is for sure, you just can't flip a switch and return things to normal. That's why many Americans are making the decision to diversify into gold right now. Since 1997, Lear Capital has been America's top destination for gold, IRA, and precious metal sales. Mention this channel and receive one free silver coin with your first purchase. Call 800-819-2495 now or check out the link in the description below. And a big shout out and thank you to Lear Capital Group for sponsoring this video. But let's get into it now and let me tell you why I stopped stacking gold and silver. No! Now, don't worry, don't panic. I'm not like 100% stopping to stack. I actually stopped, not really by choice, but was forced. And I'm making this with these checkers because I do not have a single gold or silver coin with me. And this is the first time in like 60 days I have not touched a gold or silver coin. So what do I mean? Why did I quit stacking gold and silver? And why is this not a permanent thing? Well, as many of you know, I'm a contractor, okay? So that means I jump from contract to contract. Sometimes they pay me before, sometimes they pay me after, sometimes they pay me during. And with the whole coronavirus issue, I faced an issue where I was mid-contract, which the contract still needs to be finished, and that's a huge sum of money. I mean, not huge sum of money, but it was like my payday I was waiting for to finish. So the coronavirus kind of caught me off guard. And what do I always preach to everyone? Have your emergency fund. Have your emergency fund. And so as soon as that happened, I was forced to go do what I'm doing now. And I wasn't forced to. I was asked if I would do it, and I gladly did it as my civic duty, being an American. So this is actually my first, I guess, employee job for a while here. So I'm working as an employee right now, temporarily during this response to this beer flu that's going on. And so since I started that, I started receiving actual regular checks, and I haven't spent 1 cent on gold and silver. I've been stacking the fiat currency to the ceiling. And what does fiat mean? For people who are watching that might not know, fiat is, I think, Greek or Latin, and it literally means to let it be. So it means the currency, money, is not backed by anything. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's just paper. Therefore, they can create as much of it as they want to. Like you see going on right now with the different bills and things being passed where billions of dollars are being spent in relief, which part of it I do agree with because of how this thing happened. However, the money's just being printed. There's nothing really backing it. Just being fiat, let it be into creation. And the more of that money that's printed, you all need to know, it decreases the value of the currency you have in your hand. The more of it, the less value it is. So, what have I been doing? I've been conserving with my emergency fund, and I spoke about this in a video maybe like 2 months ago now. And I encourage you all to do the same. Do I want you to stop stacking gold and silver? By all means, no. I just want you to have a stack of fiat currency, so an emergency or anything happens, you can be safe, take care of your family, deal with any issues. Now, if you've got that under control, you've got some food at home, you've got water, you can survive a couple months without a paycheck, you know, by all means, you do you. But for me, I'm conserving. And let me tell you why, because I think there's going to be an opportunity soon to get more gold and silver for cheaper. And I'm about to break that down right now. So for many of you who think you're late to the party, because as you've all seen, the gold and silver spot price has been kind of low and depressed. Well, the silver's been lower, but the gold has run higher into the 17s. But it's been disjointed. So a lot of people are afraid that they're late to the party. There's huge premiums on a lot of these coins because most times when you have economic issues, people look for safe places to put their money. That's going to be physical gold and silver. And by all the wide premiums, that's a telltale sign that tells you the supply is running thin. Now, is it running thin because people are hoarding it? That's part of it. Is it running thin because everyone's trying to get it? That's part of it. There's many reasons why it could run thin. But you're not late to the party, and here's why. And actually, I have a chart over here. Let me show you this chart I brought up. And I want to show you what happened the last time around. And I'm just bringing up the chart here. Trying not to dox myself. Okay, so here we go. Now let me preface this with I'm not a financial advisor. These are my opinions of mine alone, and my description's in the disclaimer, or my disclaimer's in the description below. But last time here in 2008, if you see here, silver at its highest point was up to like 20 bucks. Oh, well, here really 21 something, and then here in March of 2008. So really, financial crisis started into 2007, going to 2008. But when it really took off was June and July. That's when a lot of the issues, and fact check me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was June or July, with all the issues with Fannie Mae and these different banking institutions. And look what happened with silver. Whoa, went down. I didn't even realize it went that low, guys. It went to $8.80. And then, you know, it continued its triumphant march upwards into 2011 when it hit 50. So I think we might see something like that again. And if you look at this trend, you know, this trend, usually like in stocks, you look for higher highs or lower lows to establish a trend. So you see here, it's going lower, going lower, going lower. I still think we have a little ways down to go because I really believe the financial hardship of this beer flu haven't hit us yet, guys. And what do I mean by that? We're barely into this thing. And the jobs report just came out. And this was the first jobs report that was 100% jobs report during the beer flu situation, not influenced by the things. And, oh man, what was it? Was it 20.5 million jobs? 15% unemployment? It was something like that. It was crazy. It was a lot. So that tells me we're at the start of this thing. So while I'm stacking this fiat to let it be put into existence currency, not only am I stacking it to prepare myself for any problems that might happen in the future with economic issues, maybe jobs dry up, maybe it's harder to make money, but also I want to have a bank of cash to where I can take advantage of a dip like we saw in 2008. Now, what I'm doing is highly speculative, okay? The best thing that I found, the safest, is to continually add gold and silver into your collection, and eventually it kind of evens out. If you're trying to buy into a dip, it can be a sketchy thing because you can miss the dip. I could be missing the dip right now, actually, because silver... What did silver drop to? Silver dropped to something crazy recently, and everyone is freaking out. Let me see what silver dropped to. So I could be... Yeah, it stands like 11 bucks. I could be completely misjudging this dip, but I don't know. I still think it's going to go lower. So, I'm stacking up this fiat currency. And no, this video is not also sponsored by Ricola. I just happen to like it. And since I don't have silver, let me show you my Ricola full stack. But I'm hoping that there's an opportunity in the near future, if and when the stock market really crashes. And you guys, we've not seen a stock market crash per se because the Fed is pumping a bunch of money into it to try to prop up the economy and get things going again. But if we see something like that again, initially, what has happened in the past, a big drop in gold and silver, buy it up, and then eventually it will correct for inflation. Now, to me, gold and silver is not an investment. Gold and silver is a hedge against inflation. Gold and silver to me is meant to preserve your buying power. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's use some Ricolas. So, let's pretend these are like cartons of milk, okay, over a long period of time. Today, the carton of milk is worth 1. Maybe in a year, it's the same thing is worth 2. Maybe like a year, it's worth 3, and then the next year, it's worth 4. Okay? And let's pretend that this ice gum are little things of silver. So essentially, with the fiat currency, as inflation happens, things don't technically become more expensive. You lose the buying power of the Ricola. So what do I mean by that? One thing that used to cost 1 Ricola costs 4. You know, when your parents say, I used to be able to go to the movie theaters for 25 cents. It's not that money is worth less today, or it's not that things are cheap or more expensive today, it's that the money is worth less. Like if you take $1 right now from pre-65, which is 90% silver if you take coin, I mean, that's worth like what, 13 and a half, 14 bucks right now? So there you go, $1. $1 back then, 14 bucks now. So what, to me, the primary function of gold and silver is to fight that inflation. So this 1 unit can still buy this, is still this, is still this. Now this 1 unit, once you get here, is worth a whole lot more Ricola than it cost you in the beginning. But that's because it's preserved its buying power and fought inflation. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to all of you guys? Am I preaching to the choir? Anyways, today is like only my second day off ever since this thing started. I've been in this command center for the last 55. I think today's day 55. I've been on this thing, and technically I'm technically off but on. You know how that thing goes. So I've already had a few phone calls and all that jazz. So anyways, guys, I'm really trying my hardest to bring you guys content and videos. If you remember before this thing, I was dropping videos like every day almost. So I've got some really cool stuff coming soon. I've got some videos, some people got some silver. They did a promotion I posted, so that's coming soon. Dazed and Confused Stacker, that's coming soon. Don't kill me. Some of you have won gauze or giveaways in the past. Your coins and stuff are still coming. I just got to get back to my stack. I have you recorded. Do not panic. Do not panic. You will get it. And I just want to say thanks for sticking by me, guys, and watching my videos. Even though I haven't really been posting much new content, I have a lot of old, cool content out there. And some of you have been commenting on those videos, watching them since I've been so busy with this bear flu thing. So I wanted to personally thank all of you for supporting the old content and rewatching videos you already watched. And this video here is the first of many to come. And I hope you didn't mind that plug in the beginning, but you all told me to do it, and it might just end up mega. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed it. And what do we say? C-Y-O? How do I do the T? T-N-O? Catch you on the next one.